with marketing now. So you can go back and you can check out those two videos, right? You know where to go to find them. Today, I'm going to tell you 5 mistakes that I see a lot of people making with their online marketing. Okay. My name is Tamara Hamilton. I am a lifetime marketer. I've been in sales, marketing, and leadership for over 32 years. I've spent the last 10 years building beauty businesses and a digital marketing consultancy and agency. Um, when I went to school, yeah, there was no digital marketing. So I had to learn that on top of the double master's degree, the bachelor's degree, and all of that. So I am always more than happy to come here and share what I've learned, both from the books, from actual real life, from clients, from my own business. So come on in, let me know where you are watching from. I love to keep things engaging. It helps keep me excited and chatting with you. So please come on in. Let me know where you are watching from. Also, love when you double tap that screen. It's like giving me, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Pac Man, but it's my little superpower pellets when you double tap that screen. So please, please, please double tap the screen so that we can keep this engaging. Because here's what I find: the more engaging it is, the more value I give. And baby, I already brings the value. So this video today is for you if you are an online marketer, if you are a digital marketer, right? And let's talk a little bit about digital marketing because there's a lot of confusion. Okay. So, digital marketing is not a business offer, it is not a product, it is not a business model. Digital marketing is a highly paid and in demand skill set. It is what I have built my digital consultancy and agency around, is this skill set that I already had over 20 years of marketing experience. And then I took my marketing skill online. That's digital marketing. Okay. And so, with that said, many of you are digital marketers without knowing that you are digital marketers. If you are online, if you are on the social medias with the hopes, with the intention, with the goal of moving more products, of finding more customers, you are a digital marketer. Point blank, period, end of discussion. Okay. And so if you are a digital marketer that has been struggling a little bit this summer, or just struggling in general, please come on here and drop a 1 in the comments. I want to know who I'm talking to. Okay. Summer can be a great time. Summer can be a challenging time. Either way, summer is not an optional time, okay? Because I'm going to say it until I am green in the face. Your winter sales, your holiday sales are made in summer. People do business with those they know, like, trust, and remember. So the time to be building your audience, to be building your community, to have that know, like, trust, and remember is now. It's absolutely now. Okay. Now, with that said, my 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience gives me a very keen eye. Okay. I can look at someone's marketing, I can look at their account, and I can quickly identify what they're doing well and where there may be some room for improvement. I am a fan of the little hinge that swings a big door, right? I like to get my clients quick wins, right? So my list today is really designed with that in mind. Little things that are going to give you big results, fast results. Okay. So, number one on my list is logging onto these apps with a focus on selling and not serving. Okay. If you come on these apps with the intention to serve, you are going to sell more. It just works that way. It's like anything in life, right? You will never get more than what you've given. The more you give, the more you will receive. Okay? It's just law, right? So, with that said, you have to come to this, you have to approach this with the heart that you are here first and foremost to serve. Okay? Always give more than you take. I show up and I provide immeasurable value. Immeasurable value. Okay. I educate. I like to think I'm a little entertaining from time to time, but I'm heavy on the education. You know what else I'm heavy on? Problem solving, right? So you're not here to be Mother Teresa. You're not here to be, the goodwill ambassador. You're here to provide value. And the number one way you can provide value, we already talked at length about yesterday, and that is by solving problems. Solving problems is service. And so if you are showing up and you are not helping people solve problems, if you are not providing solutions, that is probably the number one reason you're not selling, is because you are not focused on the right things, right? When you show up and all you talk about is you and not the problems that you solve, that's a problem. And I'm here to help you solve it. Okay. There's a saying by a marketer known as Perry Belcher, and I don't mean that like Prince, the artist formerly known as. I mean, you might not know him, so I'm telling you that's the man's name, right? Perry Belcher. And here, I'm going to look it up because I like to be accurate. I like to be accurate. Perry Belcher quote about drills. Wait a minute now. Why is that not coming up? Quote about drills. Oh, that doesn't. Basically, he talks about the fact that here, I know where I can find it. I got to go to my LinkedIn. Hold on. Hold on. I know exactly where to find it in an old presentation of mine. Nobody, it's Perry Marshall. That's why I said Belcher. It's Perry Marshall. Nobody who bought a drill actually wanted a drill. They wanted a hole. Therefore, if you want to sell drills, you should advertise information about making holes, not information about drills. Right? That is honestly why it's kind of like a catch-22 for a lot of y'all. Okay, here I'm going to show this on my screen real quick. That is why for some of y'all, you're a little confused, and I get it, right? So when it comes to digital marketing, the reason people engage in digital marketing as a highly paid and in-demand skill set is because they ultimately they want to make more money, right? We can dance it up. We can say it's because people want to serve more, they want to help more customers, but in doing so, I mean, we all got bills to pay, right? They want to make more money, right? And so that is why the digital marketing that people are selling on the apps right now is heavily focused on make money online, because right, people don't really want to buy a digital marketing course. They want to learn how to make money online. I get that. But then the confusion comes in because someone like me comes and says, well, maybe you shouldn't talk so much about make money online, right? Because it's just like, I remember my mentors years ago giving the example when it comes to weight loss products that not everybody wants to lose weight so that they look better in clothes, right? For some people it's because they can't pick their child up. They can't do certain things with their child because of their size, right? So it's really about truly understanding what your ideal client's motivation is. I know I'm getting a little deep here, but you have to understand that what is the reason? That's what you really should be talking about here, is what is the reason that they ultimately want to make more money, right? In my case, I wanted to be as close to being a stay-at-home grandma as possible, right? I wanted to be able to be a vested part of my grandchildren's lives and be there and be able to babysit, go to parks, go on play dates, and go to school programs, right? I've not missed a school program. Okay. The only time I did is when we lived in different cities. But now that we all live in the same city, I don't miss school programs. I don't miss basketball practice. I don't miss basketball or football games because of what a boss says when I have to be at work and when I don't. So you have to understand the motivation behind the wanting the money. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, some motivations are going to last longer than others. The motivation to get out of debt is only going to take a person so far. So after they get out of debt, you have to find what is the new motivation, the new why. Okay. And that is why when it comes to like DBA and BPU, Digital Boss Academy, Business Pro University, which are courses and programs in the digital marketing space that, for example, DBA, volume one is how to create the income, right? Volume two is now that you've met the need and surpassed it, what do you do with this money so that you don't waste this money and you are continually going back to the same bad spot, right? So how do you multiply that money? How do you use that money, right? And it's not telling you specifically what to do. It's just presenting a bunch of different opportunities for you to be able to look at, like Turo, right? Like starting a home daycare, if that's something that you're interested in, or homeschooling curriculum, like beauty businesses. Like, I mean, there's a few different ones in there. There's also higher income potential platforms like YouTube, Pinterest, and LinkedIn, and even an advanced LinkedIn course inside of Digital Boss Academy Volume 2. Okay. So that is one of the number one mistakes that I see being made, is that you are more focused on selling than you are serving. Remember, people tune into one radio station, and that radio station is what's in it for me. I hear a lot of coaches in particular tell you what they need you to do. Somebody like me, I don't care what you need. I will tell you, I don't care what you need. You better rephrase that. You better reframe that. You better let me know what's in it for me and why I need to do it. Cuz I ain't getting out of bed for you, right? I'm not trading one boss, one dictator for another. Okay? Man, I look cute today. So, for me, you got to help me understand what's in it for me. We used to have to do that with employees, with subordinates, help them understand what was in it for them, and threatening them with their job, just especially in a lot of cases when they can go get hired somewhere else and even make a quarter more, 50 cent more, a dollar more, a couple $100 more, or even a couple $1,000 more. You got to help them understand and see. So my biggest thing was I helped people get promoted, not only to make more money, but to make themselves more marketable, where they could then have a career path instead of just a job. Okay. So you have to, number one, you have to stop. Thank you. Thank you, honey. Thank you, Jatica. Oh, I always say it wrong. It's Jotika. Okay. So you can't just be pure selling. You need to also, more importantly, show up to serve and understand people's true motivations and speak to those. Okay? The other mistake that I see y'all making, drop a 2 in the comments if you want to know the number 2 mistake that I see people making, right? And these are kind of like a Dave Letterman. Was it Dave Letterman that would do a daily like countdown where number 5 is actually the most critical, right? They're not necessarily in that order, but number 5 is definitely very critical. Number 1 is also very critical. Okay. If we talked about the fact that you need to have a very strong, I see two, two, two. Okay, so if we've talked about and we have the need to have a very strong and engaging hook, that is one of the biggest problems I see y'all have with your content. Your content, you start, first of all, you got the millennial pause, you got the millennial pause, and or worse, which is the boomer pause, because the boomer pause is even longer. You have to edit those out. And I too have made some mistakes in editing because there's so many different pieces to it that sometimes I miss somewhere where there is a longer pause. Cut those longer pauses out. Okay. You have a critical 3 to 8 seconds when it comes to video to capture someone's attention or they are scrolling. And so you are wasting precious time when you spend 3 of those seconds in millennial or 5 in boomer pause, right? And then you go into, hey, y'all, and you start telling them they need to know exactly what you're going to promise them in that video and why they need to stick around. They need to know that in the first 3 to 8 seconds. And you need to do it. I'm giving you more than I signed up for. You need to do it on screen. You need to do it verbally if possible. And you need to have a visual hook. That's why I like to be moving around in a lot of my videos, minus those that I am repurposing from longer form content, right? So I use often 3 to 5 different hooks in my videos, right? I have the one on screen. Hopefully I have one verbally, but then especially like if it's not a repurposed video, I do have 3 to 5 because I've got the one on my screen, right? I've got the one that I opened the video up with. And then this is money right here. Y'all got to double tap that screen for this one because I'm about to give you something that is going to take your video content creation game to the next level, especially short form, but it works with longer form too. But you got to tap that screen if you want this one. Otherwise, I can keep it to myself. Okay. Double tap that screen. Even go ahead and hit that share button. Okay. Because this is money right here. Okay. I need you to think about, thank you, Jotika, for double tapping that screen. Okay. So I need you to think about this. I just told you, people have an up to 8 second attention span, correct? So would it not be safe to say that you need to be making movement changes and stating a new verbal hook every 8 seconds if your video is longer than 8 seconds? That is how you make an engaging video. Okay. You need to put a transition in there, or you need to change scenes. You need to zoom in and out, and you can state a new hook at the 8 second mark. That will make such a huge difference in the engagement of your content, including watch time, right? Your homework, I'm giving out homework today. Your homework for today is to spend 30 minutes going through the news feed, going through your For You page and scrolling, right? And I want you to pay attention to what makes you stop the scroll and what about it made you stop. Sounds so hard. Oh my God, I wouldn't even know how to start that. Oh, it's so easy, girl. Okay. The first thing is just to start making the videos. I'll be honest with you. Okay. So I want you, and this is what's going to make it easy. Okay. You're going to pay attention to what makes you stop the scroll and say to yourself, what made me stop? And whatever it was that made you stop, write it down. Right. Was it the hair? The hair is a hook. Okay. Was it the lipstick? Was it the microphone? Was it what she said? What was on screen? Was it the caption if it's a live video? Was it a movement? What caught your attention and made you stop the scroll? So with that, I'm not saying you're going to go out and buy a rainbow wig. Just know that what you take from that is something visually appealing can make you stop the scroll. And then what made you continue? How long did you watch? How long was it? How long did you watch and what made you keep watching? And that will give you everything you need to know to make engaging content, especially when it comes to short form video, right? Do you end there are videos where I end up zoning out because they are so good at how they have engagement embedded in the structure of their video. And I mean zone out like a toddler watching, what was that, Coco Melon? That kind of zone out. You just kind of like forget about everything else and you're tuned in, right? Now, I'm not saying I can do that with every video, but I know how to make an engaging video that you just it's hard for you to pull away from it because it just pulls you in. And one of the top things that I have noticed is when that attention span is reset every 6 to 8 seconds with a transition, with a verbal hook, okay? With something on screen. Did it zoom in? Did it pan out? What made you keep watching? Because think about it. That is one of some parents' biggest concern with Coco Melon is that it's overstimulating. I would tend to agree. So I'm not saying be as overstimulating as Coco Melon, but learn from it and constantly be resetting the attention span of your ideal client. Okay. Now, I'm gonna give you something else I didn't sign up to give you for. So y'all go ahead and double tap that screen. Okay. So I think I just lost it though. I hate when that happens. So we were talking about engaging videos. And we're talking about increasing attention span. It'll come back to me. Okay. But you have to have that strong engaging hook. And my suggestion is to have multiple hooks throughout the video. Use transitions of some sort or zoom in, zoom out, have some sort of action. You know, in the beginning, and sometimes I still do, I record my videos in really short clips. I say what I have to say and I stop. And I think about what I want to say next, and then I say it again. Then I say what I got to say, and then I stop. That kind of start stop is very engaging. You probably think it's unprofessional. I shouldn't do that when it's actually highly engaging. And so you should be doing that, right? It used to make it really easy for me to record a video was to just record it in little short bursts. And I actually at one point used to record this many seconds, this many seconds, this many seconds, and then bring it all together. And now I use more of the camera in the app. So I just stop and start, stop and start. Okay. Now, the number 3 thing that I'm going to say, I probably should put on a bulletproof vest because y'all might get a little upset with me about this one. This one is definitely controversial. Now, okay, hashtag pause. Look at what I just did there. What did I just do there? Do you know what I just did there? I just gave you another hook. I just gave you another reason to keep watching. So I even do it in live video. Did you peep that? I said this one, I know the girls like to tussle. That's an engaging hook, right? Those are the things I want you to do in your homework is write those down. Pause it, rewind it, listen to it, write it down word for word. Okay? Data is king. So this one, I might need to put on my armor. I might need to armor up because y'all might get a little upset with me about this one. Okay? Let's go ahead, double tap that screen so I can give it to you. And it's no secret though, because I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it thrice. I don't know what 4 times is, right? But some of y'all do not need to be bothered with faceless accounts. It's to me, in all honest opinion, it's going to be very difficult for many of you to grow a faceless account and do what needs to be done with a faceless account, and you don't even know how to do it with an account that shows your face. Okay. And one of the number one reasons people buy is because they know, like, or trust a person, and you using a faceless account is kind of contrary to that entire thing. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I'm not saying faceless accounts are bad and that people shouldn't do them. I just think for some of you, as a complete beginner, a faceless account is not necessarily the way to go. That's just my professional opinion. I'm not gonna duck either. I said what I said. Okay. And people that I know, like, trust, and respect also say the same thing. It is truly a professional opinion. It is not personal. It's not personal at all. Okay. Faceless accounts. And, and I'm going to go there just a little bit. Faceless accounts are not one size fits all, first of all, right? What many of you are thinking are faceless accounts are based on IG and these really high aesthetic accounts. And I think those work for certain demographics, right? And with other demographics, themed accounts are a much better option. Okay. I've had skincare accounts that did very well, right? Where everything was about skincare and it targeted a very specific age group, but it also got questions from younger age groups because the account was that good. So that is more of a themed account, a quote account, right? Those IG, I see your question. I'm going to come back to it. Those IG accounts from like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, that were all infographics and taught financial information, that taught credit information. Those are themed accounts, right? The Shade Room, perfect example of a themed account. Your news aggregators, right? I've built multiple, like I said, beauty themed accounts where they're not faceless and it's all about aesthetic and you're trying to educate. I think that's a lot to do when you are a brand new beginner. I'm not saying it can't be done. It can, but for most, if you are working full time, raising kids, taking care of parents, doing all these things that we do today, it's going to be pretty challenging, even with the content vault that comes with Digital Boss Academy, for you to actually keep up with the amount of good quality content that needs to go out daily on an aesthetic faceless account. Okay. So I'm not saying under the umbrella of faceless accounts, all faceless accounts. I know, and I've seen accounts that were themed accounts that grew really well and did really well and really fast. And they were beginners. Those I believe in. But this whole aesthetic and trying to be faceless that way and trying to present yourself as a skilled and knowledgeable digital marketer that way, I'm sorry. You don't have my vote on that. No. No, because number one, unless you have the 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience, unless you've done it not once, but you've done it multiple times for yourself, for others across various industries, meaning whatever the digital marketing skill set is that you're teaching from that account. And I'm not saying this to knock anybody. I'm just being real with you that there are nuances and that there are things that you're probably better off doing a faceless themed account. Okay. Like quotes, like I said, infographics and that. So Jatika had the question. So our faceless accounts a no for everyone. How do I know what fits me better? So hopefully I just answered that. You can let me know. But I think the themed accounts are much better, right? Like there are accounts that are all about herbalism, right? I love those. I absolutely love them, right? There are accounts that are all, like I said, quotes and inspiration. but around a specific theme, like the law of attraction and abundance and prosperity, right? There are accounts around beauty, right? My first account that was a curated beauty account really heavily was about contouring and highlighting and some other makeup techniques, but that's really what they were all about in the beginning. Was all I showed was contouring and highlighting content, and then you might expand and you might add another theme that's related to it, that's adjacent to it. Okay. But just doing these, first of all, because for a lot of people to pull off these faceless accounts, you've got to buy content that is pre-made from someone else. And so many other people are already buying that content. And many of you don't have, and again, I'm not being negative here because I fit into this. I don't have the graphic design, the design background to really truly pull it off and make it as appealing as it needs to be. I just don't. And I'm okay with that. So that's why I go here and I show my pretty face. And on a good day, a flat iron, and I always do my skincare. And sometimes I get on and I do skincare, and I'm not even selling the skincare. I'm just doing the skincare. But if you're watching right now, these pages that I am on, the theme is digital marketing. That's the theme. But I still show my face. The other thing I will say with faceless accounts is if you're not showing your face, the one thing that can get you through some of that is your voice and doing the overlays. And I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? Because I've started faceless accounts and quickly abandoned them. And I ain't no quitter. I am one of them. I paid a hefty amount for a product, but haven't marketed it at all, right? I Because here's the thing, there are so many moving pieces to a purely faceless aesthetic account, right? You've got to come up with the content, then you got to come up with the hooks, you got to write the caption, you got to make sure it's edited and really prettified because it's an aesthetic faceless account. And so by the time you do all that, I personally, there are people who say they can listen to me all day. I don't think I have the most attractive voice, right? And even if I didn't or do, it really doesn't matter. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. After doing all of that, now I gotta write a script and be able to keep playing with it and saying it over and over again until I get it right. It's a lot. So being able to do that times 3, 5 posts a day for 30, 60, 90 days, I promise you, I'm not saying everyone. There is someone that can do it. And that's what you have to ask yourself. Am I the one that can and will do it? Because we all could do it if we really wanted to. But I'm also writing and sending emails. I'm also meeting with clients. I'm also involved in other organizations. I ain't got no kids at home, but I might get a call about, getting one of the grandkids from school, or can one of the grandkids come over because they're sick, right? So doing that, because the name of the game with that is you definitely got to be ahead. You need to have your content planned, prepped, and ready to go for the next 2 to 4 weeks off top. And then you got to still, I would say 4 to 6, because you still got to stay on top of it and keep feeding it. Right now, the good thing is after about 6 weeks, you can begin to use some of the same content over again. And so you can create less, because you can say, I'm going to go with 80% new content, 20% content. And then the next 6 weeks, you can bring it down to 60 and 40, right? But you probably don't ever want to go beyond 40, 60. Okay. 40 new and 60% existing evergreen content. Okay. So, that is the one great thing, right? And I teach that in my module 6 of Pen Profits Mastery on repurposing, resharing, and redistributing content. Okay. You got to have some strategy behind that, because don't keep killing yourself creating. The reason I create so much new content is it's cheaper than therapy. I'm keeping it real. I'm honest. It's cheaper than therapy. Okay. So let's take a break and let's talk a little bit about Digital Boss Academy. Okay. Digital Boss Academy is a program that I'm going to get it out there right away. Yes, you can resell it. However, you are not required to resell it. If you have ever looked at everyone online who is making cashola and you were like, man, I wonder how they do that. I would like to do that. Digital Boss Academy is a great way to discover how to do that, right? There are modules in there that are going to teach you the basics of marketing, right? So, how to launch. Launching is a highly paid and in demand skill. Being a part of a launch team is a highly paid, in demand skill. Okay. Setting up digital product stores, people will pay you to do that. Okay. In another video back in May, I talked about that ideal client that is willing to pay a premium to save themselves time. I love clients who have money but no time, because they will pay someone else to do it. And for the haters out there, I don't see what the problem is, because if you don't want to paint the exterior of your home, what do? You pay someone else to do it. If you don't want to change the oil in your vehicle, you take it to the dealer or you go to a shop, quote unquote, right? Thank you for all of the information. I really needed that today. You're welcome. You are welcome, beautiful. Okay. So, you got to learn to have discernment with what some of these people love to say on the internet, right? There was someone the other day, it's really strange or something like that, about how someone with 420 followers is selling digital marketing. Well, first of all, the number of followers is a vanity metric. I know people who were making millions, and at one point their Instagram was less than 500 followers. So, since when did the number of followers become a measure of economic potential? Because it's not, okay? So you have to keep that in mind, and don't listen to these people when they say stuff like that about digital marketing, because I'm gonna be real with you. You can get Digital Boss Academy, DBA, and I would definitely suggest it, Jatika, for only $133 right now while I'm live. Right? You know where to go. You know where to go, right? You can get that for only $133. If you use Klarna or Afterpay, it is less than $35. It's like $33 split into 4 payments to get Digital Boss Academy. Because remember what I told you, digital marketing is a highly paid and in demand skill set. No one is saying you have to give up your career. No one is saying you have to resell it. No one is saying you have to become an evil fraudster. Because, baby, one thing I ain't is a fraudster. Okay. 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience. I've managed millions of dollars in assets. I've managed, up to $500,000 in people power. Okay. So don't listen to that crap, right? But digital marketing is a highly paid and in demand skill set. And that's what volume one is doing. Volume one is going to give you the lay of the land with entry into digital marketing, right? So it's going to move you into mindset, because a huge piece of it is going to be your mindset. You got to put on your armor, like I said, right? And then it's going to move you into learning some digital marketing stuff. Here, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Going to share the screen really quick on here. Okay. So it's going to tell you how to build a bomb brand. That module alone is valued at $2,000. I could easily sell that for 2,000, even up to $3,000, to be completely honest with you. That module, the skill set you learn in that module, number one, use it and apply it to build your own brand. Okay. And once you've done that, I promise you, other people are going to come to you and start looking for advice. And the worst thing you can do is give it to them for free. The number one thing you need to do is tell them what to do and then tell them how much it would cost for you to do it for them. Okay. And that's why you need a mentor. I do offer coaching sessions to help you with things like that, right? Most businesses fail because people don't know how to think like a business. They don't know how to think strategically, right? So build a bomb brand. You master the skill set that's in there. You get the customer testimonials, the white papers, and the case studies. You could charge. I mean, and it is a full branding course. Y'all don't discount the fact that I've got these 32 years of sales, marketing, and leadership experience. You could sell branding packages once you've gotten your experience, you've done your quote unquote apprenticeship, paid. I'm right by the firehouse, so they're gone. All right, so branding packages, you can do them for as little as $2,000, right? There's really no limit, there's really no cap to it. But I know people who paid $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 for branding packages. Just saying. And you can get that for $133 while I'm live. $32, $33 down with Klarna. I'd be running. Okay. Like I said, there's learning the skill, there's email marketing. Email marketing is one of the most powerful pieces of marketing that there is. Okay. There is a content vault. The content vault has over 40,000, it's about 50,000 pieces of content ready to use. There is what's called the PLR, which stands for private label rights. You are licensed with purchase to be able to sell the done for you products that are in there, and you can modify them and make them your own and sell them as if you've created them, right? There's CapCut, automations, Canva, TikTok, Learn IG. Now we're moving into some business fundamentals like budgeting, forming your business, because you don't have to start as an LLC or corporation, but at some point you may want to. Now, this is not to give you advice, it is to give you information, and you decide with your professional what is best for you. Okay. Credit, funding, how to get funding for your business. I actually just got some funding this week. Okay. There is some more specialization here. Okay. People get in here and they're like, I don't understand how it's laid out. Like, maybe it's just because I see patterns, but I see perfectly how it's laid out, right? So now we're moving into some specialty beauty business resources. What did I tell you? I built, Jatika will tell you, that's how we know each other. She found my content on either Facebook or YouTube where I was customizing foundations, and I created a customized foundation for her all the way in California, and I'm in Wisconsin, and she absolutely loved it. Right? I solved a problem, right? So I've built these very successful beauty businesses, and I can vouch for you. I can tell you what is in this module. It's the blueprint. If I were to create a module on building a beauty business, it's almost verbatim what I would do. It's almost verbatim. There are a few things I would add, and of course, it would look and sound like me. Okay. Airbnb, affiliate marketing. There's even working out. I need to take advantage of that. We work out together. Okay. There's a Spanish module, French module, right? And some bonuses. Okay. And did I tell you in the email marketing, you get templates? Do you know how much I charge to write an email series? A lot more than $133. Okay. And then volume 2, like I told you before, volume 2 is going to take you into what to do with the money, how to make the money work for you, how to multiply the money, how to get to the bigger bucks, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, Shopify, Printful, taxes and finance, life insurance. Again, not to be advice, but information for you to be able to go have some educated conversations with your professionals, right? Content that converts, back end of content creation, right? Stocks for beginners. Now, here's the other thing you will hear from people. Oh, you do need to go through the modules. You do not need to go through every single module. I'm just keep it real with you. As you see me going through here on this platform over here, I have not gone through every module. There is no need to go through every module, especially in module 2, right? There are some things that everybody needs to go through, which is like the first half of volume 1, right? But you do not need to go through all of them in order to be able to, first of all, sell it or learn from them, right? You could be years learning from this program, and you would be delaying your self sales, right? So it's more like invest, learn, teach is the framework where you've invested. And as you're learning, you come online and you say, oh my God, did you know this? Did you hear about this? That's an engaging hook, by the way. And then you give a minute on something that you've learned and how it blew your mind. If you want to learn stuff like this, if this would be of value to you, let me know and I'll hook you up. Is your call to action. Okay. By the way, that's not even on my list, but that's the reason why you're not making sales. There's no call to action. Okay. So let's quickly go through some quick wins because I want to get through the rest of this list. I love the share your wins tab. I am addicted to this. Okay. Someone's IG page is growing. They woke up to 300 views. Okay. Someone sold their mentorship program, right? Just got another sale on live. Live is one of the things I said is working. And yesterday when we went through share the wins, y'all, it was post after post after post after post. I made a sale on live. I made a sale on live. I made a sale on live, right? Shout out to Lionel Hilaire. His live was great tonight. I launched my own course. Look at that. So yes, you can learn how to launch your own course. Is it an exact module in here? No. But if you go through the course, if you go through the program and you see how it's laid out and you go through the modules, especially like build a bomb brand, content that converts, you kind of can quickly figure out how to create a course. Okay. Live sale. Made 4 sales on my live this morning. 21,000 made overall and 4 DBA sales in 48 hours. Okay. Just hit 4K and I set my stand store up July 13th, 2024. Okay. Someone's win is just that they started. It be like that sometimes, and that is okay. My first DBA sale in 14 days, $10,000 in sales. And I want to hashtag pause because the girl who is saying she made $10,000 in sale, I think she's starting her junior year in high school. And you haven't started. Why? A 16-year-old made $10,000 in sale. Now, I've worked a lot of summer jobs. And I believe I know for a fact the summer before turning 16, I was working at Mickey D's. I ain't make no $10,000 at $3.80 back in the late 1900s when that's what minimum wage was. And then, you got a quarterly raise of like a nickel or a dime. Just saying. Okay. Wins. I'm almost at my goal of $2,000 by next week. Okay. So that's going to conclude our commercial for now. But I would definitely grab DBA Digital Boss Academy while it is on sale for $133 while I'm live. The normal price is $222. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be taking it to $555 soon because it is worth more than that. And there are people who are selling it for $1,000. So me selling it for $555, is a non sequitur. I am my biggest issue, self confidence issues. So I will definitely be buying your package. How do I buy? Okay, Jatika. So you see my face up here? You click that, and it's going to take you to my profile. You double click again and get on my profile. And actually, here, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to flip the screen real quick and I'm going to show you something. Okay, so see that right there? That is how. Do you see that? That right there is how. That's the quickest way. Otherwise, you know where to go on my profile. Can't say everything I want to say. Okay, yeah. So that is how. Flippy flip. Okay, we are back. We are back. Okay. So, all right. Now let's get back to our list. Okay. Some of these are just like honestly almost the exact opposite of the things that I said are working. I mean, that kind of makes sense though, right? So, just to recap, we talked about being of sales, not of service, right? So you want to show up and be of service, and the sales are definitely going to come. But to ensure that they come, you also want to be solution selling when you do sell. Okay. Not having that strong, engaging hook. Okay. If you just got here, you are definitely going to want to subscribe and follow me because hmm, do I might put pieces of this replay up on my YT channel, okay? And so you will definitely want to go to my bio and get over to that channel and subscribe there as well. Um, because I really gave some strong value on the strong engaging hook part, right? Like that is definitely something I can add to a bonus to an upcoming course that I'm creating right now. Okay. So the other thing, we went in depth about faceless versus themed accounts and which ones I actually do recommend as a beginner. Okay. And now we are number 4, number quattro, and that is relying on only one social media platform. You've got to branch out, right? And, I've talked about this. I was going to say ad hominem, but probably ad nauseum about your parent a spare. Okay, bought. Awesome. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so you need your pair and a spare. Okay, your pair is going to be your primary and your secondary platforms. Okay. So your primary platform and your secondary platform cannot be owned by the same entity. Okay. They cannot be owned by the same entity. What do I mean? So IG and FB, I don't think okay. I think you have to go another step, honey. I'll chat with you after this because I don't think it completed. Yeah, I think you might have to complete one more step. So go back there, and then once you put your information in, then you have to go through that page, and then there's a button, and then you click from there. Okay. So um we're talking about relying on one social media platform. So you need your pair and a spare, right? Your pair cannot be owned by the same entity. So IG and FB are both owned by Meta. That's not a pair and a spare. That's not a pair, right? That's a one and a spare. Okay. And so then you still need your other pair. So it could be like FB and Pinterest and IG, with FB and Pinterest being your pair and IG being where I'm just going to have a presence there. I'm not really going to worry about it. I'm not going to try to build it right now. Okay. And then um, I like to be on all platforms. I'm just greedy that way. And it has worked for me. And it's part of why I am having such a strong August, right? Because I'm live on multiple platforms right now. I've got multiple devices pointed at me, and one device is going to three different places, right? And then I own the recording. I have the recording in multiple central locations. And so then as soon as it's finished, I can restream it to other platforms, right? Because I am the person who has a Facebook professional profile in multiple business pages and groups. So then I can share it into groups as well. Okay. So we are in a time when you have to do all of the things and be all of the places. And that's just the way that it is. That's just the way that it is. And that's why I had to let them faceless accounts go. I might start them back up one day when I hire that team that's going to handle it all for me. Okay. So, not being only on one platform. And here's the other thing, because there are people who are going to tell you just get good at one platform, which is true. However, you still need to have a presence on the others, because what if you put all of your all into one platform and it just doesn't kick off for you? Right? What if it's just not the right platform for your ideal audience? Most people are not going to go and find the right platform for their ideal audience. They're going to quit and give up. They're just going to give up and call it done. Right? And so that is why I like the idea and the practice, because I've done it since 2013, of being on multiple platforms, even though I'm not there engaging, building, and active. I at least put content on there. And it might not be daily. I might dump it all on there in one day. I might dump it all on there in one weekend, in a quarter, but it's there. And not all platforms are going to require you to be on them all day, every day. Like Pinterest, like YouTube, you do not have to be on those all day, every day. But your content is working for you all day, every day on those platforms. And so that's why, like, yeah, I'll do the upload and dump, because that content is still going to be working for me. There was a time when videos that I recorded live on YouTube in 2014 were still sending me business in 2018. In fact, I had to turn some of them off, most of them off, because they were still sending me business and I had shuttered that business. Did you hear what I just said? That's the power of YouTube and Pinterest, for example. You don't have to work as hard, and the content is going to last longer and serve you longer than on some other platforms. Okay. So I'm going to break it down what I just said. I created videos. I went live weekly with some friends in 2014, and those videos were still pumping out customers in 2019. I had to turn the videos off because I was just focused on something else, and it was just a distraction. I had to turn the videos off because they were still sending me customers. 5 years later, like SpongeBob, a few minutes later, 5 years later. Okay. Pinterest. I have pins I created in 2019 that are still sending traffic to my website. I have videos that began as TikToks, and I had the temeritude, I just made that up, to download them with no logo and upload them to Pinterest. And so now those videos are on Pinterest selling beauty products that I no longer actively promote. That's why you got to be careful of the affiliate programs that you choose. You got to choose the right ones. You got to be strategic. I make money in my sleep for products that I do not actively promote. Boom, mic drop. Okay, so that is the power of omnipresence and being on more than one platform. Okay, so let's get to the last one. Let's get to the last one. All right. And the last one is not collecting the data, not collecting leads. Okay. Everyone talks to you about building an audience and a community. An audience and community. Welcome, welcome. Hello there. An audience and community are great, but you really need to be like Rick Ross and pushing weight from your iPhone. Okay. You really need to be building a huge community, right? And in the beginning, there was God. No, in the beginning, you need to build that audience. And the only thing better than building that audience and community in the beginning is building your email list, building your SMS text message list so that you have a of people that you have a direct line to, a direct connection to, so that you can nurture and build that relationship and follow up with. And that is the number one reason, aside from bonus number 6, not having a call to action, that you're not making sales. Because every day you come on social media, you're starting over again. Because if you think you can rely on somebody that's a follower remembering to buy from you, let me tell you the story of someone who had a conversation with me and swore they wanted to get DBA from me. And last Friday, they went and got DBA from someone else. And they were not on my email list. I'm not going to remember to follow up with you. With the volume that I do, I'm not going to remember to follow up with you if you're not on my email list. And yes, I write down as much as I can. But for whatever reason, she decided, after soaking up all the information she could from me, she decided to buy from someone else, which is strange, but that's her choice. I failed somewhere somehow, and I own that, and that's okay. Because my girl Jatika is buying today. Okay. But that no data or lead collection, the money is in the list. The money is in following up with the list. That's where the money is, right? That next level of service is the intimacy of the one-to-one conversation and email. And no, I don't mean sending emails one at a time, but the way that they are written, the spirit and intention that they are written, and they feel like an intimate one-to-one email from a friend is where the majority of sales are going to come from. And that is the number one reason that you are not making sales. Okay. So let's go through the list one more time. Okay. Number one is you're just purely selling. You're not showing up to serve. Thank you for the love. You're not showing up to serve. You're there with only intention and concern for yourself, not for your ideal client. Okay. Along with that is you're selling to everyone. And when you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. Okay. Number two is not having that strong, engaging hook. You've got 6 to 8 seconds, really 3 to 6 seconds to grab someone's attention. And the millennial pause, the boomer pause with hello and being cutesy and using your little voice instead of your big voice. Another thing, I'm gonna throw this on here just for kicks and giggles. I don't care what you posted in your TikTok on this day 2 years ago. I don't care. Nobody cares. Stop sharing that. Unless it is very specific and relevant, nobody cares. Again, that's for you, not your community. You're better off to stitch it and give an update than to just share. Nobody cares. That's lazy marketing. Okay. I get like this sometimes. I get like this sometimes. Okay. We talked about faceless accounts and themed accounts. You're going to have to catch the replay. If the full replay ends up on YouTube, or keep coming back, follow and turn on those notifications, because we went in depth also on faceless accounts. You're welcome on faceless accounts. Okay. There are those that work and there are those that didn't, and we differentiated between the two. Okay. And also keep in mind, I do one-on-one mentoring and coaching. So that is something you can reach out to me about, and we can set, we can schedule one-to-one time together. Okay. Relying on a single platform or only social media is detrimental to your business. Okay. You need to pick your pair and a spare. I think I talk about this on every video. Your two platforms that are going to be your primary and your secondary, and they cannot be owned by the same entity. So they cannot be IG and Facebook. Somebody let me know in the comments. Someone let me know in the comments, why would I say that they can't be owned by the same entity? Because I've just realized I don't think I've told y'all why. Why would you not want your pair and a spare to be owned by the same entity, right? Like Google and YouTube are owned by the same entity. A lot of people don't realize that. Okay. So the reason why is, do you remember those days where there have been more than one of them, where all of Meta's platforms were down? So if that's your pair and a spare, the whole reason to have a pair and a spare is to double your efforts and your reach potentially. But also, if one is down, you can just go be on the other one for the day. And you got your email list, right? Which is why number 5 on the list is building your list, collecting your leads and your data. Okay. You want to do that so that you can have that direct connection any given day. Because we know how the platforms are. You won't necessarily see the posts, right? But email, SMS, text message is actually the most effective, but you can't send longer stuff in there. Okay. And you got to really be careful what you send and how often in that with SMS text message. But people generally read their text messages within 5 seconds of receipt. Okay. So those are the things that you got to stop doing. Those are mistakes, and they're costing you. They're costing you big. So what other questions can I answer while I'm here? What other questions? Digital marketing is a highly paid and in demand skill set. Pulling up this article. Social media marketing skills in demand, worth 1.5 trillion by 2030. Because here's the thing, I'm gonna get preachy. My grandfather, who passed away in January, was a Baptist pastor. So I'm just letting you know right now, it's in the blood. It's in the blood. You are on social media anyway. You're on social media anyway. And while the apps are free, they're really not free. You are paying for these apps. Do you realize that? You are paying for these apps. You are the product. That's why the app is free to use, because you are the product. Your attention is the product. I'm waiting for the questions to fly, because please understand, you are the product. I offer audits. Just go up there. I do offer audits. I'd be more than happy to do an audit. You are the product. You have to understand, you are the product. You are the product because the platform is selling advertising. If they are selling advertising, I am definitely gaining traction and building community, but no sales. Keep going. You are right. Make stupid videos. You're right. If I make stupid videos, but I'm scared to make one for my products. Well, I wouldn't say stupid. I like your content. I wouldn't call it stupid, girlfriend. But the platforms are selling advertisements, and now many of them are beginning to have shops where they will collect a percentage of the sales, right? So when you are on the platform, Do you not understand that you are the product? Because your attention is what's for sale. They are selling your attention. Understand that. I'm speaking in very plain English here. I don't mean to sound that way, but I'm saying I'm not making this difficult to understand. I'm saying it very plainly. You are the product because when you pay attention, that's the toll that you pay to use these platforms is your attention. Because your attention is for sale because they are selling advertisements. That is why even if you go to someone's profile, after about 4 or 5 videos, when you scroll through their videos, you're going to see an advertising video there. I'm not even going to get into, I'm going to fight the urge to go through the history of TV and radio because I can really nerd out. But your attention is what's for sale. You are the product. And advertisers are paying to get in front of you so that they can sell you product. And that's just the way it is. Okay. So if you're going to be on these social media scrolling anyway, and you're already paying with your attention, and you're literally watching everybody get paid, why are you not getting your piece of the pie? And that's the beauty of a product like Digital Boss Academy, because it's teaching you how to get your piece of the pie. That's why I wouldn't ever let somebody who's not paying my bills tell me what I should and should not be doing, what I can and cannot do. Okay. Do you recommend low ticket items to get sales to build up to high ticket sales? For absolute beginners in the beginning, I absolutely do. I do. Because I'm going back to 2013, 2014 when I first started. My first sales were people are going to test you out. Right? Those first customers are, first of all, you have to be tremendously grateful for them. Just be grateful for the views, be grateful for the like. Being grateful will attract the sales to you. Okay. So you gotta really get a gratitude practice and do gratitude every single morning. Write down 10 things that you're grateful for. And I mean, like, I'm grateful I opened my eyes this morning. I'm grateful I was able to put my feet on the floor and get out of bed this morning. I'm grateful that I am breathing, right? I am grateful that there are lights. I am grateful for running water. Like, I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for my family. That gratitude every day is really, really helpful. Okay. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is those lower ticket items. And because you've been expressing gratitude, you're going to, you know, cosmically be able to attract the right people to you, right? But they still are going to test you out, because one of the first things I noticed right away when I began marketing online in 2013 was that, number one, back then, people wanted to know if you were real. That's why I wasn't doing no faceless account back then. People wanted to know that they were dealing with a real person, and they wanted to know who they were dealing with. And the other reason why, and I'm not going to get political here, but the other reason why in 2024, people value, they want to know your values before they spend their money with you. And that's why I wouldn't start with no faceless account. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I didn't in 2013 and I won't now, because faceless accounts are not new. Just like digital marketing is not new. None of it is new. Somebody just decided to make it a tagline of it and market it that way. Right. But in the beginning, people need to get to know you. So they're going to test you with a small item like a phone case, right? Think about it like a phone case. I'm going to test it. If I spend $25 on this phone case, it's not the end of the world. If I get scammed, I just learned a lesson and I'll be more careful next time. So that's how people tend to operate when you don't have, I hate to use the word clout, but when you don't have the reputation, when you don't have the testimonials, when you don't have the case studies, when you don't have the engagement, people in your comments speaking on you, speaking on the product or the program, right? And so that's you have to get lockstep with those first 20, 25 customers. You got to treat them like family if you can, right? If you can get to know them and get them in your presence and be in their presence. Okay. So that someone says that is $1 million question. You are correct. I'm definitely grateful for my progress on this journey. I am not upset about no sales. I love that. I love that, right? Everyone's journey is different. And your ability to be able to get sales from something like DBA or BPU right away is not only dependent upon your attitude and your gratitude and your mindset, but it's also going to be different dependent upon your talent, how much time you have to and effort to put into it, your network, your influence with that network. There are a lot of different factors that go into play. And so you cannot judge your success or what you perceive to be lack thereof to the next person, because chances are you're winning and it's just some minor tweaks. By the way, if you already have DBA and you're not making sales, I would highly recommend BPU, Business Pro University, because he goes in depth on how to sell digital products and it's really good. Okay. And I also have that available. Just click up here, you know where to go. And it is like the fourth button, I think. Okay. I would get BPA. You can get started with BPU, Business Pro University, for only $25 today if you split it into four. It's only $25. Right. And it's worth double, triple, quadruple that. I mean, that course, and it's really a course. I always say DBA is not a course, it's a program. There are vaults included. It's not necessarily a course. There are some mini courses that have been added to it and some more that are coming, but we really don't market it as a course. Okay. BPU is a course and he keeps adding to that one as well. So to get it for only $25 is incredible. I want to be sure I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. And that's why I would recommend BPU, to be completely honest with you. Not to just sell you something else, right? But I have 25 years of sales acumen. I have led, really talented sales teams. But I'm going to be honest with you. Some of my best salespeople didn't start off as really good salespeople. I groomed them I developed them into salespeople. I believe in sales development and sales coaching, and that is what you will get with DBA, because there is art and science to being able to sell, right? There is some of that in DBA, but it is just literally a taste. If you want to get the full meal and you want to really, I mean, to me, that's a minimal investment in yourself. I would definitely recommend BPU. In fact, if I were looking at DBA and it's on sale, I would get both DBA and BPU today, since since DBA is on sale. All the acronyms, I get to tripping over my own words. Those are some great questions, ladies. What other questions? What else can I answer for you? Okay. I've gone live and I've talked about the future of work. I've gone live and I've talked about in-demand skills. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we'll still talk. I can still talk to you about UBC. Yeah, we can chat. Yeah, I can help you with that. I know you're following. I don't know why I thought you had DBA. Okay. But definitely BPU, and I can help you with UBC. Can definitely do that. Okay. Um, but skills, everybody needs to learn sales and marketing skills. You have Legacy Builder. Awesome. I have not gotten that one yet. I never imagined I would have a bunch of master resale rights courses, because I do create and sell my own courses as well. But UBC is one that I definitely do and can help you with. I just don't talk about it much. So I can get you that if that's what you're looking for. So there are in-demand skills that are just not going to be optional anymore. A lot of people for years have liked to, I don't know how to sell. I don't want to sell. If you want to survive in today's world, in the future world, you're going to need to know how to sell. You're going to need to know marketing. In fact, a lot of people it's taking longer to get jobs these days. And it's because the marketplace is so competitive. It's an employer's market right now. And so you need to know marketing to be able to get the job. Not that it's a part of the job. You literally have to be able to market and sell yourself because it's an employer's market. Okay. Digital marketing is a skill of the future. If you want to future proof your income, digital marketing is one of those skills. And I've gone live. You can go and those videos are on my YT channel where I talk about that. Because yeah, these are skills of the future. I've got a video. You can search for it on my channel. Future proof your income. And I talk at length about it as I tend to do. As I tend to do. So digital marketing, I even have pastors and churches as clients, y'all. People operate, the world has not been the same since 2020, right? If you are not recording Sunday service, if you are not streaming that, you're kind of behind. And if you want to catch up, yeah, yeah, right? And you really want your mind blown? Pastors and churches find me through LinkedIn, which is in module 2 of DBA. Okay? So digital marketing is a highly paid skill set. There are so many small and local businesses that need people who actually know what they're doing and talking about with digital marketing. Because sometimes they might have a bartender or a cook who, is managing their account, and they might do all right. They might do some things, but again, there is an art and science to sales and marketing. And some people, I'm not saying it requires a college degree. In my opinion, that's the better route to go. The best route to go is to get the college degree and practical work experience at the same time, right? And if you don't get the college degree, the shortcut is a program like DBA, like BPU, or coaching with someone like me, right? Because you got to learn. And I'll be honest with you, the most expensive way to learn is YouTube University. Only because you gotta go through, well, how do they say it? You gotta go through some frogs before you get to your prince or princess, right? It's just expensive because it's gonna take more of your time. Whereas courses are and programs are the shortcut. They're the shortcut. Okay. So I'm going to get ready to get off of here. I will answer whatever questions you have, but I will be getting off of here in a little bit. So let me know what your questions are, and I will gladly answer them. Trying to think what are some of the most frequently asked questions that I get. Um, Like I said, you don't have to sell DBA. You're not required to sell it. You don't have to go through every single module in there. If you have no interest in starting an Airbnb, would it kill you to go through it? No. But do you have to go through it? No. I mean, you could I wouldn't recommend it, but in a real sense, you don't have to go through any of it. That's up to you, right? But the stuff that I do recommend everybody goes through is like the first 6 modules, 6 to 8 modules, building a bomb brand, setting up your online store, how to launch. You definitely got to go through Start Here so you can learn all the legal rules in that, right? Millionaire mindset, digital marketing, email marketing, the content vault, PLR vault. I do recommend CapCut, Canva, TikTok training. I do recommend those things, but it's not like you got to go through them all before you can do anything. You might just go through TikTok. Like I went through the Instagram training, but I didn't go through the Instagram training, right? So those are good things to know. All right. So that's the list. Where did the list go? I think I overwrote it. Oh, my girl Alex is here. Hey, girl. Hey. So, things you want to stop doing. Okay. You don't want to just be selling and not have a focus on service. People tune into what's in it for them. Not having that strong, engaging hook. You've got 3 to 6 seconds to capture attention and hearts. You got 3 to 6 seconds. Use them wisely. You got to be careful with faceless accounts and pick the right type of faceless account. So I'm going to say about that. And do not rely on a single platform or just social media. You need to have your pair and a spare. You need to be doing email marketing. You need to be messaging people. You need to be having one-on-one conversation with people on and offline. Okay. And you need to be collecting leads. You need to be building your list. I don't care if you're writing them down in a notebook. That was one of the most important things I learned early on was you need to be building your list. You need to be writing it down. I prefer to collect them through software. That's the easiest way for me. And then I can put my follow up on autopilot. But you need those leads. If you want to make sales, you need leads, right? And you get those leads a few ways. You get those leads by when you show up and you go live. You get those leads when you do call to actions with your content and they know where to go, right? They know where to go. And then they can, because there's leads there. If you go there right now, there are multiple leads there. How to download the secret to winning at Pinterest when you are short on time, right? There are leads there, right? There are lead magnets there. There are freebies there, right? There are people who will tell you, oh, freebies are dead, freebies are useless. I would disagree with that because I convert from my emails. I get sales from my emails. So there's that. Okay. I'm feeling a little dehydrated. I think it's time for my morning mocktail of coconut water. Oh, I'm out of my strawberry stuff, so I might just add some fresh watermelon to it today. So if there are no other questions, I'm going to get ready to go soon. Oh, I didn't even know I could do that. Interesting. Bring it back up. There we go. Okay. So if there are no, oh, that's too bright. There are no further questions. I'm going to get ready to go, decide what I'm going to have for lunch. Uh, did some co-cooking with my auntie yesterday. She made macaroni. I don't really eat macaroni and cheese. I fried up some cabbage with some bacon. Do you know people search for my cabbage on TikTok and Pinterest? People literally put in my name in cabbage recipe. Who knew I was gonna be famous for cabbage and bacon and not summer sausage, but smoked sausage. So that is the beauty of it. That is the beauty of the time that we live in. Never in history have we been able. You're very welcome. Thank you for everything you shared. Wow, that's really great. Okay. So, never in history has it been as easy as it is now to create, to create income, to create products, and not have to have an inventory, not have to have a warehouse, and do it all digitally and use it like Eminem says, use it to make myself wealthy. Never in history. I saw a quote about it's crazy how the billionaire and the regular Joe have access to the same software and cell phone in today's world. The difference is what they do with it. Think about that. And like I said, you are the product for these social media platforms. Your attention is the cost of being on these social media platforms. They're selling your attention. So why should everyone else get paid but you? Why should everyone else get paid but you? I don't know about you, but I'm gonna get mine. And I'm not gonna be sleazy. I'm not gonna be spammy. I'm not gonna, there are people who are gonna opt out. You want people to opt out. There are gonna be people that opt in and there are gonna be people that opt out. Both are equally relevant and important. If no one's opting out, that's a problem. You have not defined the problem and solved the problem well enough if people are not opting out. It's important to know that. Super duper. But never in history, I've been saying that for quite some time. Never in history has opportunity been like this. AI is going to create more millionaires and billionaires and faster than ever in history. It's a great time to be alive. Okay? It is a great time to be alive. And on that note, I'm out. I will deuces and see you later, alligator.